we have got another pretty big Road to the Knockout SBC that was just leaked a couple of days ago, I think. We will look at that. We got an EA gameplay producer that actually was talking to people on Twitter earlier yesterday, kind of highlighting some reasons why they did certain things in the gameplay, and actually replied to me. We'll talk about that. We got an EA investors meeting that basically highlighted a brand new feature coming to the game next year at the earliest, which is interesting as well. Probably going to indicate towards something new that was probably, we thought, going to be announced sometime in the next year or two anyway. But we'll talk about everything today. There's actually a lot to talk about. The servers have been a disaster the past couple days, but you guys obviously know that by now. You've seen, hella rant videos on that, I'm sure. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. There will be a link in the description. They are the cheapest and safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for a 5% discount. If you want to see me use this team in Rivals, we did that on the second channel earlier today. And thank you guys for being here on this channel, on the second channel. You guys already know how much I appreciate you. I do want to shout out squad battles though, because there's only 12 games this year, right? And in 14 if you count in like the team of the week game and the featured squad game. Only 14 games. And if you get Elite 1 or Elite 2 or Elite 3, it's actually good rewards. So I would recommend doing squad battles if you're bored ever. Like, don't force yourself to do it, but if you're bored, you don't really know what to do, you might as well play this. Elite 3 is an 85 plus rare gold player pack, 75-10 rare mega pack. Pretty much anybody can get that if they just play all the games. To get Elite 1, you probably have to like actually maybe play on Legendary once or twice, at least play on World Class for like all the games. 85 plus rare gold player pack, team of the week pack, 2 75-10s, a rare mega pack at 20,000 coins, which you can't see because my big fat head's in the way. That is really good rewards, honestly. And for tomorrow's video, we're gonna have all of these and then mix in all the milestone packs. I'll finally have those, so we'll open all those for tomorrow's video. If you guys are curious, I can tell you guys how to beat the AI on a higher difficulties as well. I used to actually grind squad battles a lot. FIFA 19, I got top 105-ish times. So if enough people are curious on how to actually earn the most points in squad battles, I can make that video, but I figured maybe most of you wouldn't be, but if people were actually interested, then I would do it. All right, we got Diogo Jota. I'm sure most of you have seen this by now. He's not cheap, not super duper expensive. He's not like an insane card by any means, though. I won't be bothering with that. I thought this was kind of funny today. We got a Prime Bronze upgrade and Prime Silver upgrade, which I actually like because they released that new evolution, right? They released a Silver right back Evo today. So, getting the supply up on Silvers makes a lot of sense to me. It's repeatable once every 28 days, which is kind of funny. Like, why release that if it's repeatable once every 28 days? But all right. Okay. Also, we have Team 2 leaks, which I don't even know if I mentioned at the start of this video, to be honest with you, because I had so much to talk about. Apologies for that one. We got St. Max coming as an SBC, which is awesome to see. Stats are predicted. Technical plus, though, on St. Max, which I don't actually think is quite as good this year, but it's still pretty good. He was actually leaked to be in the team, but turns out he's going to be an SBC. Will it be this team? Tough to say, I guess. I don't really know. It could be all the way until like next Friday, because it's obviously a very hyped up player. It's always a chance, but St. Max is coming. So once again, like, don't complete an SBC unless you really, really want to. Don't force yourself to do Diogo Jota if you're not really wanting to, because there's always more coming, right? Then we got this. We got some Team 2 leaks already before Team 1 even came out. We got Alejandro Garnacho. And once again, the stats are not confirmed. They're just predictions there, but Garnacho will be in the team. Dybala will be in the team, which is awesome. I tried Dybala out and he is awesome. Shadow Striker plus seems to be very, very popular this year. We got a Rajo, who is just a crazy good center back, of course. So he will obviously be very, very expensive. Malo Gusto will also be in the team, which is nice to see. I've gone up against Gusto a couple times, and I thought he was pretty good when I went up against him. Those are the first 5 players least to be in the Road to the Knockout Team 2, which, okay, I mean, Road to the Knockout's never that really a fun of a promo to me, honestly, which is fine because it's the first one of the year, so it's kind of like whatever. But here are the players that we're missing, and St. Max we now know is an SBC, but the other players we had leaked to be in the team that we do not know where they are. So 3 of these will most likely be a mini release, and then 1 will be an SBC. Don't know who could be exactly what yet, but those are the players we have not seen yet. Okay, then we got this on Twitter, which I thought was very, very interesting. I thought you guys might think so too. By the way, follow at JFC on Twitter for the terrible tweets in your timeline. But Adrian Novell, who let's read his bio here, says Argentinian in Vancouver, senior gameplay designer at EA. All views my own. Is a senior gameplay designer who is tweeting about basically why he made certain decisions. So let's kind of go down through this thread here. Thread with some of the stuff I contributed with. Let's see. He says, I'll start with a quick mention of Rush, our new game mode. I was one of the 2 persons that came up with the idea, pitched it, and prototyped it. Once greenlighted, I stepped aside and my talented colleagues Danilo and Breno took full responsibility and they nailed it. So that's one I thought was kind of interesting here. I was one of the 2 people that came up with the idea, only 2 people? Are there, like, how many people are involved in the decision-making processes for this kind of thing? Are there a lot, and it was kind of like his idea with somebody else, and it kind of convinced everybody else to be on board? Or is there like 2 or 3 or 4 people kind of making all the decisions, which is kind of interesting, right? The next 2 tweets are just basically saying, like, you know, it's much different. I don't take credit for it, basically. But this is where it gets kind of interesting and controversial, the next few tweets here. My real input, though, comes from 2 areas: shooting/passing systems and dribbling. For shooting/passing, we formed a small team to audit how everything was working and come up with a design for tools and heuristics so we can have full control over its technical and design structure. Word salad, the design vision was we should be able to constantly punish bad shooting and passing decisions. First time 180-degree pass should always be bad, and reward good ones. Trap the ball, pass in front of you should always be rewarded. That makes sense. Because our systems are so complex, and because we went so deep, this took a long time and very long work days to figure out. But I'm happy with the results. Passing and shooting now require more football IQ to be successful. Context and player attributes matter more, etc. Just for this first part here, it's kind of like, I agree with it in premise, of course. I do think there are times where the passing could be a bit more forgiving. Like, there are some passes that are first time that a lot of players can do IRL that do make more sense, that are just terrible in this game. And not having first time passing be very good when the press is so automatically that good can lead to problems too, unfortunately. Then these 2 tweets here was where it was getting, people were not happy with these 2. The other big thing for me this year was dribbling. I also spent the whole year trying to work with its fundamentals, figuring out ways to make it look cleaner, more consistent, and predictable for the user. This was an even more complex task than the shooting and passing one, to be honest. Our animation selection systems are incredibly powerful and complex, but the whole dribbling crew nailed it, in my honest opinion. We made left stick dribbling feel more grounded while still being responsive and fun. Which I was like, I'm not sure I agree with that at all. I replied and said, I really appreciate that a gameplay producer is being communicative because that's very important. I'm not exactly sure how you could think that dribbling is responsive and fun. That's not what I think of when I think of the dribbling in this game. Responsive is definitely a stretch in my opinion. Now, he actually replied to my tweet down here saying, LOL, I do think it's still responsive and definitely more consistent than last year. There is still room for improvement for sure, but I see it as a step forward. At least any feedback is welcomed. Now, I guess I mean, I don't understand where the consistency comes from in terms of like more consistent than last year. I guess there were maybe times last year when players would feel really agile and other times where they wouldn't be, but that's kind of the inconsistent gameplay also. So I'm not exactly sure what he means by that, but I appreciate that he is like talking to people on Twitter. Obviously, there were a lot of replies to his tweet saying like, you know, I appreciate you being passionate about the game and being open and stuff like that, but dribbling might feel real. It's just not fun. By now, there's a fundamental difference between realism and fun in game. And yeah, we need to have a mix of realism and fun to me. I know that maybe isn't an easy thing to do at all, but dribbling that feels like this slow, this lethargic is going to get old over time. Now, maybe when we get cracked out players eventually, it's not going to feel as heavy and stuff like that, so it'll be a little bit different maybe. But as of right now, just when you're using somebody who's got less than 85 dribbling, I mean, you can't dribble with them. You have to pass the ball. There's no other way to get around them. That's why the L1 speed boost really is so insane right now, is because it's really the only way to get around a defender, like surefire way to get around a defender. But of course, let me know what you think about that, because it's nice that a gameplay producer is talking to us, of course. It's always nice. And I hope they actually do take our feedback and it's not just like all for show, of course. But I always love seeing what you guys have to say. Now, the server problems, of course, were horrible. I mean, the server, I couldn't play. I didn't actually upload my second channel yesterday. I did today because I couldn't play. I only had like a couple hours to play, and I literally could not play. I was in a queue for an hour and a half. So I was like, all right, I give up. I will try again tomorrow. And once I got done with the queue, which I'm sure most of you guys had this problem too, it just kicked you out of the server. So you just wait in the queue for 5-10 minutes and it just kicks you out. So, I mean, yeah, it was just a disaster yesterday. Okay, then there was this news. EA announces open world expansion for EA Sports FC. So they had their Investor Day 2024. Andrew Wilson basically said that open world is coming and it's going to be only a matter of time now. If you want to read through a whole article, you sure can, but I will say like the important parts here. The 5-year plan to expand EA Sports' reach. The introduction of open world playgrounds is just one part of EA Sports' broader 5-year strategy. EA Sports aims to double its engaged fan base. Holy shit, get ready for more addictive anything. They're going to double their fan base. Come on, kids, let's play at the casino. By creating new ways to bring players together across its entire portfolio, the open world concept will not be limited to just EA Sports FC. It will also be shared with other franchises like Madden, and college football. Yeah, they also talked about how like their positive feedback in Rush is helping with this decision too, because like they're getting so much positive feedback about how fun Rush is. So they're like, okay, we even have more confidence in our decision to make open world type mode like Park in 2K, where you probably can play 5-on-5 in the open world, right? And the last paragraph down here, the most is obviously like just PR, please invest in my company word soup, right? But I like this quote. With these new spaces, EA Sports FC is turning football gaming into something more. They've been doing that for a while. It's been a casino for the last decade. A place where fans can connect, share their love for the sport, and have fun together, and get addicted to packs. But maybe I'm being too cynical. But yeah, so open world is coming. And also what I took from this too is that if 2K makes a football game, it's going to be open world, I'm sure. 2K's been open world now. It's like with the city for many, many years now. I would assume 2K would do the same thing in FIFA. If they were a FIFA 2K, eventually they probably would implement an open world as well. So it's just competition for that also. So I don't know. I would actually expect there to be a lot more ways to engage, aka ways to spend on microtransactions like cosmetics for your player and in the open world and all different types of shit, right? Because all this today, the investors, all they care about is making more money. That's it. They're trying to get investors into their company to eventually make more money. So all these different ways to engage, just ways to monetize. Just be aware that if we have this in the game, plus adding in like the ultimate team will always be, you know, their biggest priority. A career mode, I feel like could be neglected here a little bit, maybe as the years go on here. It's just going to be such in the background eventually. Because if there's two modes that are like really heavy into microtransactions that are making a ton of money, it's even less resources for career mode, right? Okay, onto the market right now. It's kind of similar to what we saw when we talked last in the last video. I do expect there to be, I mean, okay, let's just start with this. This Thursday, for Weekend League starting this Friday, right? This is the first Weekend League coming up in 6 days from now or 5 days from now when you're seeing this video. We know Rivals Rewards drops the market a ton. This Thursday is going to be an incredible buy time. I actually don't think we'll see the market drop too much until Thursday unless we see some mad panic, because there's no reason for Sunday sell-off because we don't have Weekend League, right? So people theoretically shouldn't be selling things off on Sunday. People will probably sell off teams when they finish their Rivals points, but that honestly is going to take so long and it's like, I don't think it's going to affect much. I will say the really, really low rated stuff though, Marcus Rashford, 81 rated, even like a Kamavinga, 83. We have squad battles rewards now, which are much better, plus Rivals rewards. Like, I don't know if they can even rebound back up to a certain point, so just be aware of that, but they're really expensive guys. Virgil van Dijk, obviously, William Saliba. The guys who are not going to be packed much, that's really their market outlook more like, where I don't think they're going to move too much until Weekend League demand really, really hits here over the weekend. Okay, let's read my, let's see, charming and voluptuous comment section. Why did that word come to my head first? That's actually, I don't know. Kinos is already invested in so many 88s, going to be a millionaire at some point this fall. It's kind of how it works with auto trading right now. If you want to just literally wait and see, if you're patient, you don't care too much about not having coins, you want to go untradeable, stock up on fodder and just wait. I don't know how long it's going to take. It could be less than a week. It could be honestly a month and a half, but it's going to be, you'll be making a lot of money at some point. And Llama Land says, I'm very disappointed not buying FC25, but wanted to hang around here and see how much of a shit show it is. Now it's all just positivity and no massive mistakes. Now, hopefully this is early days and things get back to EA normal soon, as I really need my daily dose of Schadenfreude. Now, keep in mind, it sounds more positive just because I haven't been shitting on them constantly. I still think there's a lot with this game that I'm worried about, by the way. Like, it is not all sunshine and rainbows, I will say that, but I do think that Evolution's much better. I think Evolution so far are awesome. I'm really glad that they really did seem like they're improved. Rush seems fun. I like that the squad battles rewards are like easier to get now because we have so many more Rivals games to play, which I still think is far too many. Weekend League rewards a bit better all across the board. There are some changes to really appreciate here. I definitely think there are, but I do worry about the main thing really is I worry about the gameplay. It could be make or break to me, like if it's fun or if it's just getting to be a total shit show come just a couple months from now when cards are better. And it seems like right now it's actually got some potential, but I don't know if EA have ever fulfilled a game where it's like this has potential. So I don't know why I would think that things would like actually pan out towards the potential. I don't know. It's complicated right now, but it's not all great and it's not definitely terrible. I don't think it's terrible at the moment. And Moof Scenes is I failed. Decided to quit FIFA after eafc 24, but could not last 6 days of the new game. Better addicted to FIFA than some bad habits. And Matt Song replies, this is a very bad habit. Imagine what you can do instead. I'm increasing my knowledge by reading books, having time for my family, having time to make some workouts, and time for some other stuff like sightseeing. Not thinking that I need to win bullshit games in Rivals or to make an XY player in objectives. I don't know how old you are. In parentheses, I don't care. FIFA is better than narcotics and drinking. drinking, but there are far more enjoyable things to do in life. And this is, I guess, there's a lot to digest here. I really wanted to like talk about this reply down here because I think Matt Song, I think what your problem was with FIFA or EAFC is what they want you to do is make you think you have another job. Because imagine what you can do instead. I'm increasing my knowledge by reading books, time for my family, etc. You know, he's not thinking about that I need to win bullshit games in Rivals, right? He's not thinking that apparently, which that's good. I mean, this is kind of what it seems like what you probably had this problem with was you took it as another job, which you should not do. If you don't want to play the game, then don't play it. Don't think of it as like, oh my God, new objective came out today. I got to make sure I have time to complete that. That is like, I mean, that's exactly what EA want from you. You need to dictate your own experience and not have it so that I have to play these Rivals games to get these rewards so I don't fall behind. Like, you have to just do what you have fun with doing. So in your head, people who have this problem's head, like, it makes sense why you'd be like, do anything else. And I'm increasing my intellect by reading novels. It's like, well, yes, well, you probably considered it likely a job, which try not to do. I get reading into that too much, but it's all about fun, okay? If you're not having fun with FIFA, don't play it. And if you're having a lot of fun, then that's great. No FOMO allowed on this channel, okay? It's not allowed. Okay, thank you for being here. I love you all. See you soon. Peace.